800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, all your gold, silver, and TEXIT needs. Let's take a quick look at the markets. It's a fun one today. The Dow's up 400 points. I love it. The S&P's up 60. The NASDAQ up 260. The 10-year note, 4%. Sitting right at 4%. Crude oil's up a little bit. Gold and silver kind of flat today. I like it. It's been very, very volatile. Kind of a calm day here. 41.25 on gold. Silver 48.60. And again, really strong here. Gold held $4,000. Silver held $48. And now we'll see what Monday brings. And we'll give you an update. The silver shortage. I don't know how they're going to do it. I know that you're right. We had to get a correction. We needed it. It was insanity. But there's just nothing out there. It won't last very long. I hope you decide to take advantage of this pullback. It's probably the first pullback since the summer that's lasted more than a day. Right? Half the pullbacks didn't even make it the whole day. So I hope you get in. But let's get to the details. Let's dive in here. Because, man, did we get gaslit in epic proportions today. We got the CPI data this morning. And I haven't found a headline yet that every headline says cooler than expected CPI data leaves Fed on track for rate cuts. That's the gist of all the headlines. And I was like, oh my gosh, inflation went down? There's no way it could have went down. Oh, guess what, guys? It didn't. All as they said was, well, it just didn't go up as high as we expected. I don't know who the we were, but inside the numbers, inflation once again was higher, up 0.3 month over month, year over year. Now up 3%. We've hit the dreaded 3% number. I mean, Jason, earlier this year, didn't they come out and say, I think they got, 2.3? Wasn't that like their low number? Maybe 2.2, something like that earlier this year. And now they're trying to convince, hey, inflation was cooler than what we expected, so we can cut rates. When the reality is, inflation got even worse.
I think inflation is going to get even more worse. Gold and silver is screaming that at us in the last year and a half. And so they're going to lower the rates, Joe. I mean, higher inflation, lower rates. I mentioned this to you a couple of years ago. It's like, what happens when we have raging inflation and they print money? And you're like, no, that's not what they do. And I was like, but isn't that kind of what we're looking at? Isn't that the only path? And here it is. I think we're going to have higher inflation, and they're going to lower rates and start printing, Joe.
Listen, I think at the Fed meeting, the next Fed meeting, I think they're going to stop quantitative tightening. And that will be early, but they're out of money. Guys, I'm telling you, there is very little liquidity in the system right now. And I know, right, why are we seeing these drastic moves? Higher and lower, even Wall Street, there is very little liquidity. So you get much bigger swings, both higher and lower. And the problem is the biggest market where you need the most liquidity is in the debt markets, and we don't have it. So today, every headline tried to convince you that inflation was less than expected. and the Fed can cut rates. Do you know that inflation today, it was the highest print of the year? In other words, inflation hasn't been higher this year. And here's the sad part. Almost every company has said, oh, yeah, we're passing on more of the cost. We've now kind of settled into, with the exception of maybe China, we kind of settled into what the tariffs are. And we're trying to put them out there gradually. But, yeah, prices are going higher. We should not be, think about what happened to 2%. Right, Jay? Remember, 2%, that's our goal.
Which was more like 5%.
Right. Now it's 3%. And they're like, it's less than we expected. Let's cut away.
That's going to be more like 7%.
It's scary. Listen, guys, it really is scary to think about how much money printing they are going to do. This lowering rates doesn't make inflation better. It makes it worse. Remember, why do they lower rates? They want to get growth, right? They want to get growth. How do you get growth in a debt money system? Anybody? Anybody? Hello? Oh, wait, I know the answer. You create more debt. That's how you get growth in a debt money system. And when they lower the rates, the goal is what? More people will go into debt.
Yep.
Right? That's the goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. People have lost their minds. I've been telling you about, here's the sad part. The healthcare stuff's not even in yet. It's not even in yet. That doesn't happen until, well, I guess it'll start, technically at the end of the year, right? People are feeling, hey, I'm getting my premiums for next year. This is, and again, I found that interesting. On top of that, so they come out and they say inflation's better than expected, even though it hit the highest levels of the year, we can go ahead and cut rates. Right? That's why Wall Street's up. On top of that, the Social Security Administration, better late than never, said, hey, guys, tell you what, we're going to give you 2.8% as a cost of living adjustment. So let me get this right. You said inflation's 3%. But you're going to give them 2.8%. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Of course, we know it's higher than 3%, right? Because, let's face it, they don't really track inflation. They sit around and come up with all the... I guess if you eat cat food and stuff, of course, I don't have cats. I don't know the price of cat. I tell you right now, dog food, that's way too expensive. But I'll say this. That cost of living increase, your health care premiums took care of it. You don't got an increase. There isn't one. Jason, this is, and again, I don't know how all of this is going to work. You got 43 million people on food stamps. You got 75 million people receiving Social Security. And the vast majority of those, unfortunately, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
You were cutting out a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you cut out on me too. So I was just saying, 43 million people on food stamps, 75 million people on Social Security, who the vast majority of those, not all, but the vast majority of them, that is their income. They just all got a pay cut today. Every single one of them got a pay cut. And I don't know. I don't know how any of this is going to work out. Here you go. Gold's just gone positive. I think gold's figured it out, right? We're going to have a I think, don't be surprised if we don't see an inflation number below 3% next year. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Now, is it going to go from 3% to 5%? I don't know. Not in a day, not in a week, not in a month. But, Jason, I get the feeling this is just going to be one of these, oh, well, now it's 3.1%. No, it's 3.2%. Oh, wait, now it's 3.4%. No, it's 3.5. Now it's 3.7, right? Next thing you know, oh, well, now it's 3.9. Right? At what point does this madness stop? And you got to remember, Jay Powell's getting ready to go out, and they're going to get he's being replaced by guys that are going to cut rates no matter what inflation does.
That's right. That's right. They're not going to put someone in there that's against the agenda right now, right? You know, they act like these are Fed guys, and they are Fed guys, but the Fed gets what they want, and they will whatever needs to be done will be directed by the banks. It ain't being directed by Trump or the federal government. And the economy is a certain way, and then they will make sure that no matter what economy there is, that the banks, the central banks, win. They're going to win no matter what the situation.
Well, how about this? This is coming out of the White House. If you're hoping for an end to the shutdown, the Trump administration, no intentions of backing down these insurance subsidies. And to be clear, these are subsidies to insurance companies. They don't actually go to people. They've been artificially masking the cost of premiums. Listen, all of that is true. Every word of it is true. As soon as you take the subsidy away, you are going to find out the real cost of these premiums. Why am I making such a big deal about it? Because that's another 25 million people, right? Think about this. 75 million people on Social Security. Right or wrong, most of them extremely reliant on that. We can help you with that with some TEXIT. Keep telling people that. They don't want to believe it, but it's true. 43 million people on food stamps. We don't have bread lines. Yes, we do. I'll tell you what, you don't believe me? Go and volunteer at the food bank. Just once. Just once. And see how many people need assistance. It'll blow your mind away. It'll blow your mind away. And guess what? We can't afford that either. We got to cut it back. Right? That's part of the deal. Right? We've got to lie about inflation. Mostly, I'll be honest, you know why they really lie about inflation? Let's be honest. So they didn't have to pay COLA. That's the reason. They knew in the 90s when they changed the way they tracked inflation. Why did they change it? Well, gosh, they were tired of giving COLA people 5, 6, 7, 8%, and they knew. We can't afford that. Now we can't afford the insurance subsidies. But we can afford a tax cut. 800-951-0592. Dow's up 500. And it says it right here on the screen here. On mild inflation data. Mild? It's up 0.3 month over month. That's 3.6% annualized. Yeah, but hey, if you want to believe it, you can. I guess. I don't know what to say other than get ready for higher inflation. Sorry. Get ready for significantly higher, and I know you don't want to hear this either, but it's true. Gold and silver prices. Silver or gold now 41.30. Silver getting ready 48.75. Are we going to be above 49 here before the day out? Maybe. We'll be back above 50 extremely quickly. Here's the things you can't gaslight people on, right? Which is either you have the product or you don't have the product. A massive physical drain of silver from the COMEX warehouses is accelerating. So all of this silver that New York had, and I say had, is going to be gone. And a structural change in the redefining of gold's role as an asset. What are they talking about? Do you know that we already talked about, gold? People hold more gold now, countries, than they do European debt, Japanese debt, Chinese debt. And now people are holding more gold than U.S. debt. You heard it right. It is the number one asset. Think about this. Let's put this in perspective for everybody. They lied to us about, I don't care what you want to call it, Reaganomics, free trade, closing the gold window. Oh, we've got this way. And yes, we believe in a stable dollar, right? The only thing stable about the dollar is it keeps devaluing. That's the only thing stable. And they hit it really well for 40 years. We went through multiple decades where the whole world said, hey, you know what? I'd rather hold fiat money than gold. Countries all over the world were selling gold. Matter of fact, the Europeans had to get together after England brought gold down to $250 because they sold it. I said, okay, guys, listen, come on. Let's be smart here. Let's only sell 500 tons of gold a year between us. 500 tons. I mean, that's an incredible amount. And then guess what? 2005, it all stopped. Just stopped. And very quietly, countries started to buy gold because they didn't want fiat money. Not a lot. 100 metric tons, 200 metric tons, 300 metric tons. And every 3 or 4 years, it would jump up. Now it's 500 metric tons, 600 metric tons. Oh, wait. Now it's 800 metric tons, 900 metric tons. Now it's 1,200 metric tons. And guess what? The price doesn't matter. Why doesn't the price matter? Simple. Because they know no one's going to stop printing. Right? You know when the price will matter? When someone decides to stop printing. Then the price will matter. But Jason, we have this incredible thing going on we have the whole world saying, hey, I don't want to hold fiat currency. I don't want to hold. And, of course, how do you hold fiat currency? Debt, guys. That's debt. That's treasuries. At the same time, it is the biggest physical shortage in silver's history going back to the Hunt brothers. And the Hunt brothers, right, when they were cornering the silver market. Here's the thing, Jason, as you know, nobody's cornering the silver market. Right? This isn't a group of guys or a couple of billionaires or a bank. This is literally every manufacturer, every central bank, you name it, diving in to the gold and silver markets. It is literally because of the idiocracy, especially today. Today's a great example of idiocracy. You know why the gold markets were full? You know that before the inflation number came out, that gold was down $70, $80 this morning? It was. Then they saw the idiotic headlines. And now all of a sudden, look at what's happened. Gold's going even higher. Why? Because these guys, Jason, they don't get it. They're going to keep going. They're hitting the gas, getting ready to head over the cliff.
It's not just silver either. It's copper. It's many other things that's just going to keep on moving very quickly. They're trying to create this modernized, computerized, digitized world as fast as they can because it's a control system. And then you need a lot of metals for that, right, Joe? You need a lot of computers. You need a lot of storage facilities. You need water. I mean, you need all these things. Joe, I know that they put the order in to stop making pennies. I haven't paid close attention to it. I used to be a big penny guy, and guess what I got at Kroger yesterday? I went in and bought a couple groceries so Jack can have lunch today. And it said, please get exact change. We're short on pennies. I put all my coins in like I always do. And instead of $1.27 change, it gave me $1.30. On the receipt, it said right on the receipt, penny roundup, or penny rounding.
Yeah, big thing. A lot of the bigger stores are running out of pennies now. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason wrapping up the week here very quickly. We'll have the TEXIT hour coming up next. Make sure you stay tuned for that. We just hit another U.S.-friendly exchange this morning. I think we are full for the meetings in Chandler, the mini meetings in Chandler on Monday. I think we have one spot left for the Chandler meeting on Tuesday. Guys, get there. Right, what are these meetings about? This is it. This is the deal. We're going to hold your hand and show you how to buy and sell your TEXIT. Bring your coins, bring your laptop, bring your cell phone. Be ready. You are physically going to put some TEXIT on the exchange. I hope you put, and I won't force anybody to put a sell order in. You don't have to. I recommend it. So if you want to put a buy order in, great, right? We'll show you how to do it. But it's time. And I'll get in text at 5:30, 5:35. Yeah, there's no stopping it. And like I said, another exchange today. And it is another U.S.-friendly exchange. So as we continue to go here, Pionex, 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 that is the exchange. They are U.S. bank friendly, too. So you don't see that very often. But getting back, I want to get to this gold and silver, guys. Let me tell you how bad the problem is London needs 200 million ounces of gold right now. In order to do that, already the United States, out of the COMEX has already lost 10% of its silver already. They would have to lose another almost 50% to get London the silver that it needs. It's impossible. That would essentially, now instead of not having silver in one place, Jason, we're essentially not going to have silver in both places, right? And of course, London's the biggest. New York's the place where people go to get their silver. And neither one of them is going to have it. Listen, I still have rolls of these silver $50. Guys, this is it. This is going to be the last day of them because I don't have that many left. I've got enough to do one quarter bag. That's, by the way, $85,000 gets you 25 rolls. 85,000. Not 85,000. 8,500. I'm getting crazy. Wait, 85,000. That's in like 3 or 4 years from now. But today it's 8,500.
Yeah.
8,500 get you a quarter bag of $50, or $345 get you a roll. By the way, if you buy the 25, you save $5 a roll. Both of those are under spot, as you guys know. I think, don't be shocked to see silver, like I said, before the end of the year. I'll be surprised if silver doesn't break $75. How's that? How's that? I would be shocked if it doesn't break 60. Right? Maybe I need to reverse that. Whatever is worse. Shocked if it doesn't break 60, and then just surprised if it didn't break 75. So jump on it. And then I've got, and I think maybe less than 10 of the $20 gold piece Canadian dollar special. Right in there. It's $4,700. You get a $20 gold piece and 12 ounces of silver in those Canadian silver dollars. Yep. So you're buying the 20 essentially at $4,200, and you're buying the silver at less than $42 an ounce. So just a great deal. You know, you
uncirculated. Uncirculated.
Yeah, and they are nice. I just saw, Jason had sent some of them down here to fill orders. It's crazy. These are pre-1967s. I mean, and they look fantastic.
They have 0.6 ounces of silver in each one, and they are 80% silver. So it doesn't really matter if it's 80% silver when it comes to alloy silver. They did 80%. We did 90%. All that matters is buying the raw silver, and we're buying the raw silver. It sounds like at $42. Is that what I heard, Joe?
Yeah. That's your per ounce price.
Wow. Here's some free silver. Just don't call for the free silver. I mean,
right?
I understand if you don't like a weird silver. I'll call this weird silver. Who wants Canadian dollar silver? You know, that they actually used to use. But these are uncirculated coins, so you don't have a lot of wear and tear. You haven't lost any silver, and you're getting 0.6 ounces, full 0.6 ounces per coin. As Joe said, 12 ounces of silver at $42 an ounce, free silver. You can melt it yourself and lose some of it and still be ahead. So
I mean, yeah,
free silver, free silver. You don't want to order free silver, don't call.
Right?
Don't call and get, you pay for the 42, and let's just say silver hits 50 again on Monday. You're $8 an ounce up on every ounce of this Canadian silver, and you're gonna rue the day that it's like when we get to these higher premiums and suddenly people are buying again. Oh, wait a minute. I remember 2025 and 2024, Joe and Jason had these below spot on silver constantly. And now we're looking at $150 silver that you're buying at $200 an ounce.
And you can use your TEXIT too if you want, right, to buy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're giving you all these
TEXIT for gold and silver, guys. TEXIT for gold and silver.
800-951-0592. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. As Jason said, it's pretty much, we are giving free silver away. Really, we are in a weird way, right? Because we're selling everything so far below spot. Rolls of silver, $50, $3.45. If you buy a quarter bag, that's the equivalent of 25 rolls. That's $8,500. It's $340 a roll. Puts you down in that $47 range. And then we've got the $20 gold piece and Canadian silver dollar special, $4,700. The Canadian silver dollars in this special, like we said, you get 12 ounces of silver. That puts your silver price at $41.66. Right now, silver's $48.75. So when we're talking about, that's $7 an ounce of free silver we're giving you at $48.75. Crazy. What is that? 12 times 7. I got to, $84 worth of free silver, almost $100 worth of free silver. Just right there. 800-951-0592. And yes, you can use TEXIT if you'd like to buy gold and silver at Patriot. Anytime, doesn't have to be this special. Anytime, you can use gold and silver to get into TEXIT. Right, we go both ways. If you haven't gotten in yet, I'll say this, because I know some of you, and it's hard because you go like Reddit, not a very good place to get information, but it's a place, right? It's just, you can use it. There's, I don't even want to say plenty of people. It's really like 6-7 people. It's the same people over and over again that tell you, hey, this is a scam. Or whatever they, pyramid scheme, pump and dump scam, right? You're going to lose all your money. First of all, no scam limits anybody's money. We do, right? You only can buy 27 seats. But here's what I want you to do. Find just one person that is an actual miner that has gone online and said, this is a scam. They're not doing what they say. Anything negative. I don't care. Right? We got like 42,000 miners now. You think Jason, there's got to be at least one.
I've not met one yet.
Right?
I've not met one yet.
They're not there. They don't exist.
There's just something about getting a deposit every day into your account that just seems so good every day at 6:30.
Yeah. And wait a minute, I can sell. And of course, guess what? It's actually way easier to sell it today than it was when we started. Listen, when we started, Jason and I, there was like $10,000 to $20,000 in volume. That's not very much.
It's a lot easier.
On like one exchange.
It's a lot easier to pull out than your 401k or some paper asset.
Oh my gosh.
Much easier to pull the money out of this thing. It's yours. It's like selling gold to us. You just click the keyboard a few times and it's in your bank account.
Just yesterday alone, we had $1.7 million worth of TEXIT get sold. Of course, that means we had $1.7 million worth of TEXIT get bought in 24 hours. Yeah, it's easy.